The play begins in the luxurious, well-furnished flat of Algernon Moncrieff in London's fashionable West End. The setting is described as elegant and modern, reflecting Algernon's taste for style and comfort. The room is filled with luxurious furniture, a grand piano, and plenty of Victorian-era decor, signaling the wealth and social standing of its occupant. The scene opens with Algernon lounging in his opulent surroundings, chatting casually with his butler, Lane, as they prepare for a visit from his friend, Jack Worthing. The city outside is vibrant, with London's busy streets providing a backdrop to the characters' witty banter. Jack arrives, and the conversation quickly turns to light-hearted topics like cucumber sandwiches, social obligations, and their double lives. Jack, who lives in the countryside, has been leading a double life by pretending to have an imaginary brother named Ernest in London, which allows him to escape to the city whenever he pleases. Algernon, on the other hand, reveals that he has invented an invalid friend named Bunbury, which he uses as an excuse to avoid tedious social duties. The opulent flat, with its relaxed, indulgent atmosphere, underscores the frivolousness of the men's lives, setting the tone for the comedic elements of the play. The setting is crucial to establishing the character's wealth, privilege, and carefree attitude towards serious matters such as love and responsibility. The scene culminates in Algernon discovering Jack's secret, Jack's double identity, leading to a humorous confrontation that introduces the central conflict of the play, identity and social expectations. The setting shifts from the bustling city to the serene English countryside, specifically the beautifully manicured garden of Jack's country estate. The scenery is lush and idyllic, with neatly trimmed hedges, blooming flowers, and well-kept lawns, reflecting the peaceful and orderly life Jack leads when not in London. This rural setting contrasts sharply with the urban sophistication of Algernon's flat, emphasizing the dichotomy between city life and country life in the Victorian era. Cecily Cardew, Jack's young ward, is introduced as she tends to her studies outdoors, enjoying the tranquility of the garden. She is surrounded by the beauty of nature, with a rustic backdrop of trees and flowers that highlights her innocence and sheltered upbringing. The peaceful garden setting also symbolizes the idealized view of country life as calm, stable, and morally upright, in contrast to the more chaotic and deceitful aspects of city life. Algernon arrives at the manor, posing as Jack's fictitious brother, Ernest. The serene atmosphere of the garden is disrupted by his flirtatious and playful behavior as he attempts to woo Cecily, who has already developed a romantic fascination with the idea of Ernest without ever having met him. The garden's peacefulness is humorously offset by the confusion and misunderstandings that begin to unfold. The scenery remains bright and cheerful, filled with sunlight and blooming flowers, even as the characters' deceptions begin to complicate their relationships. Gwendolen Fairfax, Jack's love interest, arrives at the country estate shortly after Algernon, adding to the confusion. The setting of the English garden, typically a symbol of truth and purity, contrasts with the web of lies and mistaken identities that the characters continue to weave, heightening the comedic tension. The rural setting also serves as a backdrop for the romantic entanglements that unfold, with the characters enjoying afternoon tea amidst the greenery while revealing their mistaken beliefs about each other's identities. The final act takes place inside Jack's elegant country manor, specifically in the drawing room, which is furnished with Victorian decor that reflects the respectability and social standing of its owner. The room is well appointed with comfortable chairs, fine furniture, and tasteful decorations, representing the ordered, traditional life that Jack aspires to maintain. However, the serene domestic setting soon becomes a battleground for the play's final comedic revelations. Lady Bracknell, Gwendolen's formidable and aristocratic mother, arrives, adding a layer of formal Victorian propriety to the scene. The drawing room, typically a place of calm conversation and polite interaction, becomes the stage for a series of fast-paced and witty exchanges. The characters' attempts to maintain their social decorum are increasingly undermined by the farcical situations they find themselves in, particularly as the truth about Jack and Algernon's identities begins to unravel. As the play reaches its climax, the discovery that Jack is actually Lady Bracknell's nephew, and therefore truly named Ernest, brings the confusion of mistaken identities to a humorous resolution. The comfortable and respectable setting of the drawing room contrasts with the absurdity of the characters' actions, enhancing the satirical nature of the play. The room, filled with proper Victorian decor, becomes a symbol of the rigid social structures that Wilde is critiquing, even as the characters' deceptions and misunderstandings lead to a ludicrously happy resolution. In the end, the drawing room, with its blend of elegance and tradition, mirrors the resolution of the play. While the characters' lives may appear orderly and respectable on the surface, they have reached this point through a series of deceptions and misunderstandings that are humorously exposed. The characters finally reconcile their identities and romantic desires, bringing the play to a light-hearted and satisfying conclusion in a setting that symbolizes the return to social harmony.